Sean. Pachikas. Yeah, Pachikas. I am not the best Oro in A. There are at least two Oros who are better than me, but I don't know if either of them play anymore. There might be three. Every time I've ever said best Oro in A, I've been being facetious. But it's not like I ever say that anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just the most known Oro. Nice. Good whiff punish. Honestly, towards Fierce is better outside the TC for Sean. Just because from the TC it's like the only thing he can do. Should I not learn the game with Chun-Li? No, like, people always ask shit like that. Play the character you want to end up playing. You shouldn't like learn one character for fundamentals and then move to another character. You should learn the character that you want to play. Whatever you learn with Chun-Li will be what's useful for Chun-Li. The fastest way to get a fundamentals for a character is to play that character. Never like try and add a step. It doesn't make any sense and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't count. If you want to be a Chun-Li player, start with Chun-Li and keep playing Chun-Li. If you ever decide you don't want to be a Chun-Li player, play the character you do want to play. No matter which character you play, you'll crutch on the things that are good on that character. There's no character who like you won't crutch with. When you're a beginner, you just crutch. It's part of becoming good. You start relying on the very blatantly good tools. I need to put together like an FAQ based on the learning fighting games questions I get very often. Someone lands Remy first, what do they crutch with? I don't know. Low boom. Anti-air, low fierce, if you want my serious answer. Anti-air, low fierce will get you a lot of mileage at low level play with Remy. But then when you play a good player, they might start blowing you up for it. Eventually with Remy, you start needing to do much more complex anti-airs to keep the opponent out. Stuff like making them land on a high boom, and then if they parry it, doing far strong, and then if they parry that, still blocking. Because far strong at max range isn't punishable by jump normals usually. Even if it's parried. But if you're a beginner, you won't be ready for those scenarios, but you will be ready to crouch fierce. So if you just play Remy and you just crouch fierce, and then every time it works you do a flash kick, that you'll just crutch on that. That'll be your anti-air crutch. Remy would certainly have already come back by now if he didn't have so much gameplay overlap with like Guile. But it's like, why would you not just bring back Guile? Or Nash. The fact that there's already two characters like him just make his return much more difficult. Bring back Sodom. I'm with you. Remy is right for a redesign. The problem is Nash was right for a redesign. The problem is you need all three of them to be different from each other. That's probably the reason we didn't get Remy back. Sefric, how would you unironically feel about a Street Fighter 4.5? Or Street Fighter 4.6, I should say. I wonder if Capcom would ever do that. It's kind of a curious thought. Probably not. Won't ever happen. I think SF3.4 would happen before that. I don't think they messed up Nash. I mean, I don't think Nash is a super good character right now. But he's certainly a lot more interesting than he was in Alpha. Nash was just a worse Guile in Alpha, I feel. I mean, he was better than Guile in Alpha, but he was less interesting than like ST Guile is what I'm saying. Nash was top tier in Season 1. Probably. Things might change a little bit with what we know now. And also, he was, I always say this, he was artificially inflated by input lag. They could change Remy, but the problem is the way they might change Remy might be the way they already changed Nash, is what I'm saying. So you have to take one character and turn him into three separate characters. It's kind of hard. I can't imagine a Remy without fireballs. Yeah, I had the COVID vaccine. I've recovered from it. I now feel 100% fine. Fever's gone. Arm doesn't hurt. Got nothing. I was only feeling bad for about a quarter of one day. The vaccine is a prize. How do I give it to someone else? Remy hyper aggressive. I like the way you think. I don't know if I would necessarily say Nash is supposed to be hyper aggressive. People often say that, but I don't know if I believe it. Nash has a good forward dash, and people are like, oh, he's rushed down because he has a good forward dash. But actually, I think that the stuff he's good at is mostly zoning oriented, to be honest. I think Nash, in the matchups he wins by zoning, and in the matchups where his zoning doesn't work, he doesn't win at all. I don't know if there's a single matchup where he wins by rushing down besides maybe like Poison or Dhalsim, who are characters where you always rush them down regardless of what character you play. Nash's zoning is actually decent. People like to meme that Nash sucks, which is just because of Season 1. If Season 1 never happened, Nash would be like middling, but like no one would say he sucked, I feel. They would just say he's like lowish. They'd be like, oh yeah, Nash, he's a low tier character. Not bottom 3. But because he was top tier in Season 1, people are like, oh man, Nash sucks. Because they remember. They remember what good Nash looks like. Oh, got him. That was a punish, I think. No, never mind, never mind. No, it wasn't. No. Look at these claps. He's building meter. It's 12 a.m. A little bit I do want to play some SF5. I don't really want to play some SF4. My like desire to play SF4 is kind of dried up. Ever since I got better at SF5, it's like I'd rather be... SF5 feels better to be good at than SF4 does for me. This looks pretty hard for Hugo. Now it looks almost impossible. Do you ever watch Nishikin yet, Sefrik? Nishikin in SF5 is super good. I'm sure you've seen him quite a lot in SF4. If he parried that, man, that could have turned around. That's not a hard parry either. It's two parries either direction. You can parry forward or down. It's reactable too. It's kind of hard to react. If he got both of those parries, he could have done a SA1. And SA1 would have almost killed you on there. They would have completely turned the game around. I think Blanca is still probably the character that would fit your gameplay style the best in SF5. But I can definitely see how you wouldn't like him because of SF4 Blanca. Because he is really different from that. Ed and Ryu. Ooh, we could do Ryu matches. That sounds kind of fun. My Ryu is okay. If you want to play Ryu, now's a great time. Ah. Now I kind of want to play Ryu in the mirror. Falk is loving life this season. I've been seeing so much Falk lately. Obviously from Sabin. I like that activate. Ooh, like it. Okay, this is still okay. Mid screen, like Yun can back up, but he didn't ever get the chance truly. But he only didn't get the chance because Oro just did continuous normals with no mix up. Nice. Last DLC character I feel like is going to be a new character. I don't know that, but I just feel like it. Oh, Sefric. Your stick really doesn't work? They added like driver support to SF5 ages ago. What the fuck stick are you using? You're playing on PC, aren't you? No, you're playing on, I mean, yeah, Steam Big Picture mode. What the hell's going wrong? I got no advice for you. I thought they added PS3 driver support ages ago. Hmm. Mm. They removed it. Oh no. I'll mail you a new stick. I have like 3 sticks. No, 4. I have 4 sticks. I'd never even like. How did this happen? I went a super long time without a stick, which is why I'm a pad warrior in the first place. I didn't have the money nor the means to buy a stick. I just had a fucking PS3 controller and I played on that forever. And then eventually I saw a deal during a tournament that was like 2 TEs for the price of one. So I got like 2 TEs for like $140 or some bullshit. And uh I was thinking I was gonna sell one, but I never actually sold one. And then I didn't really like either of them. I was too good on pad. I got a lot worse playing on stick compared to pad. I could already do everything on pad, so like stick was just a downgrade. So I never, even though I owned the sticks by that point, it was just like, why should I learn on these? I'm worse. So for like 5 more years, I continued to play on pad despite the fact that I had 2 sticks, and also I never sold either of them for some reason, so I still have both of them. I got one of them signed by Daigo. I was TE stick signed by Daigo. You want one of my TEs? Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Daigo one though. I'll sell it to you on the cheap. You can get a $40 TE from me. Um, what was I gonna say? Then I didn't like them because they were heavy, and I feel like that made them somehow. I didn't like it. I feel like the size was hurting it for me. I played eventually on one of my friends got a Kwamba Q1 because they're really cheap, and actually, even though it's like lower quality, uh, Kwamba Q1 is like it felt a lot better to me, and I could execute better on it. So whenever I played on stick, I would play on a Kwamba Q1 for a super long time. Wow, I've been there before. I haven't dropped that in a long time. It sucks to drop that punish. It's like -11 or something, and Aura's close strong is 5 frame. So it's a pretty easy punish. But it sucks if you drop it. Yeah, those are the things that I would maybe... I wouldn't even... I might not even include 360 there. I might only say Zonk and Mash. It depends on how many shoulder buttons you use. If you have a pad with 4 shoulder buttons, Zonk is better on pad than stick, I feel. Zonk is a button hold. Special move. You hold a button and then releasing the button does the special move. Like Falk, like Cody. It's named after Zonk Knuckle, which is a Cody special move. You can also, like, turn around punch is another one. And turn around punch, you're holding 2 buttons. Nice. That shit has, like, no recovery for some reason. Oh, anyway, Bungus mailed me a hitbox, and I'm shitty on the hitbox, but I love Bungus, and I think that hitbox is better once you're good at it, so I've been learning it. And I've gotten a lot better on the hitbox. My execution on hitbox is actually looking almost kind of good. I used to not even be able to do anything. Then I couldn't do DP cancels for a little bit. Now I can do DP cancels, and I couldn't do supers, and now I can generally get supers. So my hitbox execution has gotten super good in the last month, but it's still not as good as my pad execution. But it's like way better than it was. Hi. Very hard to win for Ken now. Now it's just about impossible. Unless like severe chokes. Okay. I do not claw grip, but I have multiple shoulders, so I don't need the claw grip. I have a pad with 4 shoulder buttons. The only thing that matters with input is whether you can get the shit you're trying to get. People always think about it in terms of like theoreticals. If you play a character where you can hit all the stuff you need to hit, and there's nothing you don't do because it's too difficult, then your problem is not your controller. Um, Akuma does have Demon in this game. The main reason people don't use it is because there's only one halfway decent setup. It's possible to do it during a dash, but it's really hard. It has to be very precise in this game because you can't do multiple inputs at the same time. Like in Street Fighter 4 and 5. I don't know about 5. And 4 you can do towards light kick and hard punch all in the same frame and it still counts. I say 3. But in this game you actually have to do them in 5 different frames, all in sequence. I can't do dash demon. It's like double tap forward and then you go to down forward for your forward motion. You double tap jab during your dash, but I can't do that shit. I think that's right, isn't it? I haven't thought about that in a while. Nice anti-air. Holy shit. Forward's medium kick hard demon is the one that I would say is the best one. That's the one where it's most likely to be able to do a point blank demon. It's the easiest. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but the price is another issue with demon. The demons are hard to do. SA1 is very easy to do, and you can do it in a lot of different scenarios. And 2 SA1s probably does like as much damage as a demon anyway. And it's not like the SA1 setups are rare. It's not like demon's bad in this game. It's just that it's you already have another super that you can also do. And SA1 has other bases that it covers. Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. The reason they're not sitting on 2 bars is because SA1 is fairly easy to land in most of his setups. Even though he doesn't have EX, you'll probably just either, you know, not have the bar by the time you get a demon set up, or you'll have spent some of it on a super. That being said, no way that Akuma can spend meter is super crazy in SF3. SA1 is not super rewarding. It's more of a neutral tool and less of a damage option. Honestly, doing like light Tatsu combos into SA1 are only barely stronger than doing meterless light Tatsu combos. So it's often used after the most common times I see it are either as an anti-air, chip, or after close medium kick meaty. Very common after close medium kick. Far hard kick demon. I've done that shit. It's not easy. Well, it's pretty easy. It's one of the easier setups. Sweep into demon in SF4 is good, but in this game it's horrible because demon's not invincible, and sweep has a lot of pushback. So it'll like never work. Nice. That's not kill though. Nice. I think he was too far away for a juggle. You get a juggle on 1 hit only. EX donkey kicked the back hard kick. it can't be one of the setups that leaves you close, basically. So after certain cancels, it's reliable. Otherwise, it's only reliable if your back is kind of close to a corner. But like I think stand strong, low strong, EX donkey kick always works, unless the opponent's literally cornered. From that, you can always get back hard kick. I'm pretty sure. Generally speaking, you'd rather just do light tatsu. It's novel that it works that you can get back hard kick, but generally speaking, it's not. It's not the route you want. It's only barely stronger to do back hard kick into light donkey kick than it is to just do hard DP. And if you're doing trigger 2 stuff, then hard DP trigger 2 I think is actually stronger than uh, back hard kick light donkey kick trigger 2 because of the scaling differences. Generally speaking, light tatsu is your preferred ender unless the opponent's almost dead. And if the opponent's almost dead, then your preferred ender is hard DP. Oki is the most important thing in SF5. Whoa! What's happening? Is my stream dropping? No. That's weird. I haven't had YouTube buffer in forever. This isn't even like a super high quality broadcast, as you can clearly tell. I started recording the leftovers video for my balance changes, and that I did Ryu first, obviously. And I was gonna mention that. I did mention it, but I was gonna mention more about it. But the stuff I was gonna mention, like, oh, do this in in VT2 for an increased damage combo into the ender, but then it wasn't even better than the hard DP. Nice. One parry only. Like he knew. He knew it was only going to be one hit. Oh, let's punish for the kill. That didn't kill! I think that was max damage too. I mean, obviously he could have spent a bar for the EX Sumuji, but he didn't want to spend it, and that was the right play. A good game is good forever. That's how I feel about Third Strike. You know what I mean? I don't know, it's kind of unrelated to what we were just talking about. That's true, unless some broken shit gets discovered. Yeah, I know he meant the footage. I know he meant the fucking video quality. It's like a law that all Third Strike recordings must be 360p. But I read that, and then I started thinking about how people were still playing Third Strike like super long time later. And then I said, Third Strike, a good game is good forever. Oh, wrong game, Sefric. Trigger cancel your combo drops. Oh, setups. Um, I wouldn't say that that's the worst way to play him. It really depends on what's working and what's not working. Focus on that. Never think that some level of play, never think that some strategy is scrubby. Only think that if someone stops you from doing it. If someone blows up jump back fireball, then you definitely have to adapt. Was that crush jab? I don't know of a scenario where Dudley uses crush jab over low short, because low short is just better, I think. Low short is just low jab, but whoa! No punish either. Low short is just low jab, but it's a real low. So you have to parry it low. What the fuck? What are these low jabs? The low short's chain too. Fucking TC. This is a strange Dudley. Name says Pepe. That's got a poke. Ah, there it is. ST Discord people probably think every fighting game is an air dasher. I mean, honestly, Street Fighter 3 is an air dasher because 12 exists. Oh, it does say Pepe. What if he's named after the little fucking frog that feels things? Oh, beautiful. Aka, they said. That means red. I think they call red parries Akaburo. Whoa! It's buffering again! I'm getting angry. Damn, he buffered that fucking 720 so hard that he just did it fucking raw. You see that? He was like thinking, oh wait, how far do I have to go? Yeah, he was popping off. He's like, I feel like doing a standing 720, and he spun so hard he froze the stream. It's not high quality, is it? It's auto 360p. Actually, it might have dropped to that. It might have been at like 720, 60, and then it lagged. Because I think YouTube does that if it lags. It drops a setting. Even though I have it higher than that, I don't know. It's just YouTube being fucky. My internet basically never does this. It's like one time a year. It's not even Comcast. I can't even blame them. It's AT&T. Wish I could blame them. AT&T is better, but not much better. There's no internet in any location near me that's not horrible. I mean, you know, this one's not bad. Pookie's pretty cool. She's very safe. Not super rewarding though. Kind of technical. Sometimes don't nail you for torrenting. I torrent all the time. They never nail me. I've been nailed one time in like 2 decades. I guess it's been 1 decade. They don't give a shit. It's not like they want to cancel you as a customer. They just send you that message and hope that you stop. I've only ever torrented the first 2 Shrek movies. But I really did torrent both of them. I have torrented both the first 2 Shrek movies. Little Forest. Yes, it does. You're correct. You recognize both those kanji. However, it is a name. Both of those characters are common in names in Japanese. It is a last name. Most last names in Japanese are locations, and they refer to the location where the family used to live. But they're not locations like cities, they're locations like geographical descriptions. Like above well, or below tree, or fucking middle of field. Nice. We do this every time. I casually read some Japanese in my stream, and then everyone's like, wow! Those were some good parries, I guess. They weren't good enough. That's the good thing about Akuma. That's one of an area where he shines. Japanese word for boonies. I don't know. I'm sure they have one. IS Okinawa. That's hard to punish. Nice. I'm SoCal. Feel free to say all the disparaging things you want about SoCal people right now. You get a free pass from me. Did he pick that super just to punish that? Oh, them SoCal libbies. And their SoCal taxes and their high minimum wage. And their bleeding hearts. What else does SoCal have? The left wants to take your penis. We got Hollywood. You guys like Hollywood? Yeah, we do have long hair and surfboards. We also have rough leathery skin. Some. We have some hostile architecture. Where I live has none. But we have a much more objectionable strategy with the homeless, which is that whenever police find the homeless, they just pick them up and drop them off in the adjacent town. Literally like the opening of First Blood. Nice. Oh, I'm sad. That was the wrong version of super for the angle the rangy landed. I see homeless people like once a year in my town. It's super rare. There's like no homeless people here. The adjacent towns have a few, not a lot. No significant homeless problem around here. Nice. You'd love to see it. He could have done a super combo, but I don't even know if it would have killed. Oh no. This could go for Alex. Oof. Wow! I'm surprised that worked. It's long known that there's enough houses to house all homeless people in America. The problem is, any place where you put homeless people, all the surrounding land becomes significantly less valuable, and everyone hates that. And also, you know, a lot of the houses aren't like publicly owned. There's snow if you go a little bit. I'm pretty close to Big Bear, and it's snowing up there basically all the time. So if I want to go throw a snowball, it's not too hard. But I don't really. Basically, I have to drive up a mountain to get snow, but there's mountains. Yeah, the coldest it ever gets is like not super cold. The coldest weather I've ever been in my life was like 0 Fahrenheit, which is not too cold. It's cold. You don't want to stand outside without a shirt. You could die in 0 Fahrenheit weather. That wasn't even in California where I had that. The coldest it ever gets here at night is like 30 degrees. Fahrenheit, which is about 0 C. That's night and winter. Gets to about 0 C. In summer, it gets about as hot as 40 C. It depends on where you go. I'm talking about where I live. And it's super rare that it gets up to 40. More like mid 20. I feel like both temperature measurements are shitty. I think we need a new one. Unfortunately, centigrade makes the most sense, I feel. But that one's utterly useless for human needs. He went for red? Why? I get why they want to base everything on water, but the way they base temperature on water just doesn't make sense to me, I feel. Red parry is a parry out of block stun. It's just exactly the same as a blue parry, it's just harder to do. And it's harder to do because you're supposed to be blocking. So one, you can get hit by releasing back, and two, the window is naturally smaller. It's not in any way like red focus. It's called red parry just because it's red. Normally parries turn blue, but for red parries they turn red. I think, yeah, there's no red parries until third strike. So in every scenario, you can either do a blue parry or a red parry. What is up with this video? Help me. Now we've dropped another quality level. We're at auto 240p. What is going on? I've never had this happen. Is it because it's an export of a stream, a YouTube stream? Is that making it extra hard for some reason? I can still tell which one's Buki and which one's Urian, so I don't care that much. Far fierce. I usually get that parry, it's not too hard. Yeah, it's really important in third strike that the way red parries work on the metagame. They add a certain level of risk to absolutely everything. But also they're difficult enough that people won't usually go for them. Another super is going to kill. Oh my fucking god. Super autocorrects for Ibuki. What's funny is if that initial kunai hits and then she autocorrects with the super, if both the regular kunai and the super hit, it's an unblockable. So if Ibuki jumps right over your head, throws a kunai right before she crosses up, and then on the super cancel successfully crosses up, she'll throw the kunai, let's say to the right, but then the super one to the left. And if both the kunai and the super hit, then they hit on different sides. And it's an unblockable. That's only possible on wide characters, and it's also very hard. But technically speaking, Ibuki is one of 4 characters with match viable unblockables in this game. I said match viable. There's a few other characters with unblockables. Technically, Sean has an unblockable with his basketball. You'll never see it. It's like TAC only. Because it requires cooperation by the players. Oro and, yeah, Urian get them for free. And then Yang gets them off of some of his Saiyambu stuff. Any Vree's fireball strings, true block strings. Low strong into fireball is true block string at most ranges. That's the one that most people do. That's a super important string for him. Anytime you do low forward fireball, in Street Fighter 4, you do low strong fireball in Street Fighter 5. Low strong fireball just replaced low forward fireball. Low strong fireball combos from a lot further out, and at most ranges it's a 2-block string. And if you're doing it from low strong, do heavy fireball. Forward fireball looks cooler. It's a matter of personal taste. Low strong also has more pushback, which makes the fireball mildly safer. I wonder if he could have neckbreakered that. No, he could have SA1'd it. Or SA3'd, I mean. That's not an American thing. Well, I guess it is in the sense that it's not Japanese. Ibuki SA2 is real, but it's... SA1 is good for a lot of different things, so you usually don't see the others. Light, medium, high. They do both in America and they do both in Europe. It's more of a how long you've been playing kind of thing. Crouch strong fireball. And they didn't actually get replaced. You can still do low forward fireball. But crouch strong is more typically done. Nice. I don't get them that often anymore, but I used to get a lot of complaints about saying, like, jab strong for your short forward roundhouse. I feel like it's like a hurdle. It's like the first hurdle you have to cross learning a fighting game because it's all like that. You know what I mean? It's like learning the terminology is like the same shit as learning tech in a fighting game. If you can't adapt to the fucking words someone's saying, you also can't adapt to the tech they're showing you. Fighting games are very much a thing where you have to help yourself because no one else is going to help you. Even if like there's good tutorials being made and shit like that. It's fucking Daipon and Daiosh. That's the names of the buttons. Anyone who says hard punch is using the wrong word. It's Daipon. Daipunchi. Numpad notations confused me for like 1 minute, and then I got used to them, and now I like them. Nice rad. The risk on that is pretty low, and the reward is very good. I was talking about that earlier in the stream. 6234. What is that cursed motion? You're right, it's horrible. There's a motion for Terry, I think, in KOF that's 21416. You can just do quarter circle back, half circle forward, and it works. But the actual motion is 21416, which is a bit whack, don't you think? Very ugly motion. Oh, thank you. Star motions. Sounds like fucking like an old anime game. Arcana Heart. Vampire has a lot of button press specials, especially on Anacaris. He has like 6. Button press specials are the ones like Demon, Raging Demon. In fact, Raging Demon's motion is in fact from Darkstalkers. Star motions, literally you're like doing like 1, 8, 3, 4, 6 or some bullshit like that. Oh, that pretzel was 16243. That motion is fucking stupid, by the way. Yeah, you swapped your first and last digit. It's a stupid motion. Geese had one of those. For a super long time, I always heard people complaining about Pretzel, but never played a fighting game with Pretzel. Great defense. He managed to weather the storm for both mirrors. If either of those mirrors hit, Urian would have gotten the meter for a third mirror. Oh, the fucking sub, thank you. Anyway, I finally played some game with a pretzel motion, then lo and behold, I couldn't do it. I had to try it over and over to get it once. There are a lot of motions in KOF that are deliberately, you can't do them fast. And it's because they don't want you to, they want you to have to buffer them to do them as anti-airs. They don't want you to be able to just raw anti-air with it easily. A really obvious example is Crystal Bit from Athena. She's got a double half circle back motion as an anti-air in a game where jump-ins are super fast. So you can do it as an anti-air if you buffer it, but if you don't buffer it, doing it as an anti-air is restrictively difficult, especially if you're trying to anti-air a hop. It's a really good anti-air. It's not good for much else. Depends on the game. Sometimes Crystal Bit's okay. I can't do deltas for shit on hitbox. I'm sad as fuck. Double half circle back on hitbox is easy. Half circles feel very smooth and natural on hitbox. Somehow they feel more natural than quarter circles. I've done most of the trials in KOF 13. I think I could never do all of Elizabeth's, I could never do all of Ash's, and I could never do all of, who was the other one? I've done most of them. Raidens are just a pain in the ass because they require you to have like a fuck long charge. The combos themselves are pretty hard. Yeah, the Elizabeth ones are like a puzzle. They're usually not super hard to do, but it's like, do you know how to do this? It's like super weird cancels. Like picture like Ken Tatsu into super in this game. And that's what Elizabeth's trials are like. Ugh. These can't be supered. Whoa, he couldn't even, he dropped the combo. I would play a whole game of combo trials. I'm surprised no one's ever tried to make a game like that. I'm always disappointed when fighting games don't have trials. The SF5 trials are kind of weak, but some of them are okay. SF5 Season 2, the first 10 trials, after from Season 2 onward, the first 10 trials for every character are like real combos that you would do in a match. SF5 actually has extremely good trials for the most part for like match useful combos. Almost always they've got the same formula where it's like here's a combo, here's like your basic B and B punish, here's your fucking combo from light normals, here's like a crush, here's a combo from a crush counter. It'll do like that. Here's a combo with an activate in it. SF4 trials are generally garbage. The re ones are kind of good. Almost every other character, they're just stupid. They're combos you would never do. Sifric, do you want to play SF5? I should ask you now instead of later.